DreadPirateMustache here. I've got the whiskey. Let's have a drink.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You're the king. Being a pirate is always with me. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yo-ho.
Alright. Well, I wanted to start this whiskey day off with, first of all, getting myself a drink of whiskey. And wanted to talk a little bit about the core. So, I hope everybody's enjoying the first episode of the core. The second one is going to be involving the technical explanations of it and everything. So, that's what I'm hoping to do. And this is just a little talk about the methodology behind it. Okay, so the idea behind the core was to create a system that allowed navigation and interplay with the autopilot and things like that. And you know, you can spend a couple $100 just on a little handheld GPS unit and stuff, and there had to be a better way. Well, there's a community that came up with the software used on the core. It's called OpenPlotter, and it's 100% free. So when I talk about the components for the core, the navigation system, and I messed that one up because I'm so excited. When I talk about the premise behind the core was I can't afford $2,000 on a built-in navigation system. Who can? Really? Who can? And the Dread Pirate Mustache ain't about that. When I bought this, the unit, the Raspberry Pi, was $35. All in, with the little extras that I've got going on, this whole system's like $250. $250 for a system that does all the bells and whistles that a commercial system does, but they're easily replaceable. I can order the stuff from Amazon, and it's just, I mean, I can carry an entire backup for the system, every single component, and still not even come close to what the cost was. In the future, I plan to upgrade it with a single board computer called a Latte Panda, which is a system running the exact same thing, but it's a Windows 10 platform. It's essentially a laptop. But the Raspberry Pi operates on 5 volts. It just plugs right into the existing power system. There's no special modifications needed or anything. So I wanted to talk about the two types of sailors, of people. I build things. Even if there's a commercially viable thing, I could buy a $2,000 system if I wanted to and not have to think about it. I could build one significantly cheaper, but I know everything about this. So if this stops working, I know about it. And I have an example here because in the video I tried to show the screen and it wasn't coming through too clearly. This is an example of a paper chart. And this is a paper chart for the Potomac where the Falcon is. And this has depth findings. I don't know if you can make it out, but this is a traditional form of navigation. And I've taught myself these. I've taught myself paper charts. They're not hard to do, but the system will do that for you, and it actually integrates into autopilots, if you have them. Pirate Mustache is building an autopilot. Um, so, yeah. You've got people who throw money at problems, and then you got people who build things. I tend to be a builder, just because it's easier, in my mind. Plus, it saves a lot of money. Everybody I've shown the core system to was absolutely flabbergasted at its capabilities. And then you hit them with the price point. Now, I'll try to break it down. There's no special tools needed. You will need a computer to get it set up with, to do the initial setups and everything. But after that, once you get it taken care of, the stuff is done. It really is done. You spend a little bit of time getting it all set up, and Bob's your uncle. It'll just take care of itself. Mine's been upgraded a little bit. I did things like install a media player. I can actually plug a portable DVD drive or a hard drive with digital copies of movies into it and play it out. I can plug a monitor in and actually just sit there and watch movies. It'll play music. It'll play all the MP3s and MP4s and all that stuff. And, you can, as long as you have them saved locally, if you have it saved as a file, you can just plug it in. And when you stop and think about that kind of stuff, an extra laptop or anything really doesn't warrant the cost. For the price of a cheap laptop, I can have 2 of these. It's absolutely just mind-boggling. And then, it has features that these high-end systems have too. Things like anchor alarms and AIS receiving. It'll receive NEMA 2000 and the other standard. I don't know what the standards are right now off the top of my head. After all, I'm just having a drink. But it's the methodology behind it. Even if I had the money, I would probably just do it this way, because it's, in my opinion, better. If you can do it yourself, why not do it yourself, especially when it's so bleeding easy? We have access to the sum of the world's knowledge on little devices in our pockets, and we use it to text people and look at pictures of cats and porn. How does that work? And I didn't know anything about it when I started off. I just asked the question, can I do it cheaper? And it did. It worked. So that's the premise behind literally almost everything that I do. Is just I try to do things cheaper and easier. The LED system on the boat was something that I just put together for power saving. I built the runabout because I had the idea that wherever I'm at, I'm going to need some form of transportation, and I don't want to use things like Uber and Lyft and Sidecar and all these other stuff. And now with the beer situation, it's probably better if I'm somewhat more the soda stream. So, at that point, I'm just looking for food. Water kind of takes care of itself. So that's the methodology behind the core. I wanted an advanced navigation system, and it really didn't bother me how much it was going to cost. It just so happened that everything is dirt cheap. I'll have the final breakdown in part 2, but the Raspberry Pi was $35. The GPS puck was, I think it was $45. The wireless antenna cost me $12. The tablet I bought, not specifically for this system, but I can utilize it for the system. I bought the tablet mainly to read books, but that was only $80. the various cables and adapters, and if you want to put a monitor on it, like I can have a centralized monitor plugged in the cabin at the nav station, and still wirelessly connect. And since it's running the wireless, I've tested the range. There's nowhere on the boat that I can't connect to that thing. So, and you can even run it with your phone. You don't have to buy something. You can just run it with your phone. You can plot courses on it, plot charts, and then follow yourself on that. You can track where you've been. It's absolutely amazing. I know I'm no expert on it. When I have a need for a function, I look it up in the manual. So that's it. That's my thoughts on the core. A little bit more background on it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Part 2 is for the technical guys and gals. So I hope this was informative. Thanks for having a drink with me, and may the wind always be at your backs.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to buy the Pirate a Taco, why don't you think about becoming a patron? See the links below. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the little bell icon when you want to be notified of new content. And as always, may the wind be at your back.